Returning to my channel, CryptoQ Media, is a pleasure. At no point in its existence has XRP ever rallied like this on its own. The price of XRP has skyrocketed whenever the cryptocurrency markets have shown real growth, as opposed to merely slight fluctuations. Furthermore, this group has persisted throughout time. This happens as the stock market rises. When stock prices start to rise, and they start to rise significantly, everything comes into place. And that is something we have not seen so far. Therefore, it's safe to say that nobody can predict the future with 100% accuracy. Having said that, I will explain to you why I think growth is the most probable result. In addition, we have been in this same jam before. On top of that, I've been monitoring this for a while now. There are many who share my view that small cap equities are not performing well. Take the small cap Russell 2000 index as an example, it is underperforming. That is why XRP's meteoric surge in this environment is unprecedented. Is there going to be a shift? I thought you would be quite pleased to hear these numbers, so I thought I'd share them with you. Just as there has been in the past, after the initial excitement fades and crypto takes flight, so too will this happen. It sounds ridiculous to me that XRP wouldn't have a role in that if the cryptocurrency markets saw actual growth. Furthermore, I stumbled onto this fascinating article from Crypto Basics. The price of Ethereum exceeds 22,000, as predicted by Vanek. I will refrain from making price predictions because it would not surprise me in the least if Ethereum realizes even a small portion of this market's enormous potential. Thus, XRP will utterly dominate whatever expansion that does take place. A far greater multiplier impact is much more feasible with far less cash in XRP. I want to make it apparent that I am not from a wealthy background. Financial matters are irrelevant to my representation. I repeat, under no circumstances should you allow my opinion sway your decision to buy or sell. Making videos on YouTube about cryptocurrency is something I do for fun and as a hobby. I simply enjoy it. Allow me to clarify this for you. You might recognize this from something that Eric Balchunas shared. He works for Bloomberg as an ETF analyst. As a result, he became widely known in the crypto community thanks to his reporting. In the time leading up to the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETF, it garnered 310,000 followers. The blockchain advocate had posted some insightful facts, which he also supplied. The advocate had just written sigh but had good reason to do so. It is imperative that you review this. Eric Balchunas is the author of the following. 10 companies accounted for 77% of the total performance of the S&P 500 in the first half, making them the most important. This is really absurd. So far as recorded history is concerned, that is the second highest value for that particular number. It was slightly higher in 2007 and GOP. So, I have to know, what happened in 2007 that, of course, was occurring at the height of the great financial crisis, right before the economy collapsed. The top 10 stocks accounted for 77.2% of the total, as can be seen on the screen. Take a look at neighboring years, such 2010 and 2012. Very close, within 19%. Consequently, that is extremely disgusting. You wouldn't want to witness blockchain regressing and consolidation when people are actually terrified. While broad market gains obscure the fact that investors are reasonably apprehensive about the market's potential impact on smaller companies, the Russell 2000 was established to alleviate this fear. Attractiveness is lacking at the moment. Unless the Russell 2000 falls, I too don't see the cryptocurrency market expanding. Is it going to stay? I think it will convince people that it's absolutely feasible now. Since no one can tell you the exact time anything will happen, you have to make do with your imagination. Can you understand it? Pretend it will really happen? Certainly, because such things have occurred in the past. According to this analysis from MarketWatch, the continued decline of small-cap stocks could potentially bode well for the overall market. Now we're off. Even though it's from January of this year, LinkedIn's Rusty 1000 says it hasn't changed much, so it doesn't matter. It makes no difference when this was published, it is pertinent even now. I feel the need to stress this point since, as the proponent of blockchain technology has been arguing, this is crucial, and it has pricing history, hence, you would be well to investigate it. For the cryptocurrency market to crash, the Russell 2000 index must also decline. Get rid of it? Seems to be company stock indices for tiny cap Tobin has underperformed other large cap businesses over the past year. Unfortunately for small cap investors, this may really be a precursor to future stock market gains based on historical data. Chief Marketing Strength Market Strategist Charlie Bilello stated that Creative Planning, a wealth management corporation, is responsible for over $200 billion in assets. A S&P 500 gain of 11% according to statistics from FactSet. Small cap equity gauge Russell 2000 had a far more modest gain of 4.9% over the same period last year. This is being considered because it offers a marginally better alternative to inflation. Because it isn't flawless, you shouldn't cry over it. Still, we've established a precedent for similar success in the future. Based on what they have stated, this could be a good sign for the market. In the past, when small cap performance was poor weak breath, stocks have typically returned above average. On the other hand, when small cap performance was good, stocks have returned below average, according to Bilello's Monday report. So, it's not hard for everybody to understand this idea. Everything that comes before him shapes how we see him. Good performance will inevitably follow poor performance. It's not only backed by evidence, but it's also easy to understand. Not to be left out, the same holds true for XRP. To be more precise, there are historical points when the price of XRP falls in comparison to Bitcoin. It occurs right before things start to go wrong. That is our current condition. As luck would have it, everything is fitting together quite well. It is imperative that you review this. There has been no indication of confrontation yet. The Russell 2000 is still trading around 20% below its session high, while the S&P 500 is trading near to its all-time high. Based on Bilello's analysis, the stock is expected to have a high performance in the coming 12 months. On each of the three most recent occasions when the Russell 2000 fell significantly as mentioned below, both indices had a surge in the year after the S&P 500's record high. It is heartening to see that individuals from the three biggest Russell 2000 drawdowns before this one are thriving. In the year following the S&P 500's new all-time high, both indexes experienced tremendous gains. Although the sample size is small, the Russell 2000 exceeded expectations the following year, joining the S&P 500 at the record highs indicated below. Listen, I'm only pointing out something that everyone already knows, it hasn't happened. However, that isn't an issue on its own. The historical record is replete with proof of this. Thus, it is reasonable that he is mentioning the most recent drought. Nevertheless, he could go on to mention decades upon decades if he so desired. There are other examples of this. No, this is not unusual. It would be a tenuous continuance following the 19.2% drop from the local high in April 1999 in the Russell 2000. With a gain of 14.3%, the S&P 500 the next year, the Russell 2000 experienced a rise of 36.5%. The Russell 2000 index rose 35.5% in the same time period that it fell 13.5% in February 1991, as mentioned below. The following year, the S&P 500 increased by 12.1%. By January 1985, the S&P 500 had risen 17.4% while the Russell 2000 had fallen 13.3%. The next year, the Russell gained 18.2%. Wow! Bilello shouted, "Please don't get too enthusiastic because the data only extends back a few decades. For this reason, I will reiterate, a change is necessary." Is it reasonable to be completely afraid because of that? Though absolutely not. Not only does it not ensure progress, but occasionally everything simply crumbles. After then, there will be a period of market decline lasting a specific number of years, after which we will face more waiting. It makes sense to me. Maybe it happens. Is it safe to presume that way? Though no, I believe that a massive upsurge sometime this year is the most probable outcome. Be that as it may, depend on it. But this is really important. Therefore I was happy to hear that the blockchain advocate has been focusing on it. Remember to give credit where it is due. To reiterate what he mentioned, this is vital to the success of XRP and your other coins. Let us be mindful of this. Furthermore, nothing has happened thus far. That works perfectly. Right up till now. Very minor. So, XRP's expansion is right around the corner. I would venture to say that's likely the case. It would mean a lot to me if you could subscribe and give my channel a like. Farewell for the moment.